Rovers are back in action this coming Tuesday night, and it's in the EFL Cup, aka the Carabao Cup, and standing in the way. Bit of a regional opponent, Stockport County. They might have a score to settle. What am I talking about? We're going to get into it. All of it next. That's right, folks, back once again in another video. Today is all about Stockport County. I'm going to hear from a Stockport County fan in just a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers is right here under one rooski. Focus switches to the Cup today as we look forward to our next 90 minutes or more. This time over in the Carabao Cup. We'll get into it in a minute. Big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash the old subscribe. Your one-stop shop for Rovers is right here. I'm talking about Lewis Travis afterthought, crunching tackle against Stockport County this past pre-season. Left a mark, put a man in on the physio table for about a couple months. So score to be settled, you would think, for Stockport County. And of course, I've got a man to talk all about that. So let's introduce Russ coming at you here, the Stockport County fan, to talk all things shop this coming Tuesday night. Joining me today is Russ. He is a Stockport County fan. So for my small corner of the YouTube universe, tell them a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and how on earth you ended up supporting Stockport County.
Well, I'm Russ Johnson. I'm the creator of a Scarf Bagara War podcast. From Stockport, live in Stockport, and probably quite depressingly will probably die in Stockport, I would suspect. But yeah, no, the reason why I'm a county fan is because I grew up right behind the ground and was taken to the matches at a very early age. So it just stuck with me. So for my sins, here I am, a Stockport County fan through thick and thin and through 6 tiers of the English football pyramid now.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that there, but they're back in the 3rd tier, of course, and opening day win. Maybe we'll touch on that in a minute. But are Stockport County ready to be back at the 3rd tier, or maybe a promotion, maybe a season too soon?
No, absolutely ready. Not a season too soon. It might have been a season too soon the previous year because we lost in the playoff final to Carlisle on penalties. So it might have been a season too soon. What a lot of people probably don't know about us is we have a very wealthy backer, actually wealthier than the two down the road at Wrexham, actually, and he wants to get us into the Championship within 7 years. And he took over in 2020, so we've got 3 years now at this level to get back into the Championship where we were in the late 90s, early 2000s. That is the plan. There's plans to increase the ground capacity to 18,000. The place is just done up completely. He's revamped it. We've got a new academy. We've identified a training area inside the borough, which we've never had before. At the moment, we've got a Championship quality training ground outside the borough at Carrington, where City used to train before they moved to their camp. So everything's looking up, and people might not know that we're actually got heavy investment, and we're on our way back. Definitely. Yeah,
I was just doing my homework nice and early, and a fan of your age. I'm not going to ask how old you are, but recent promotions. It seems the past 5 or 6 years, like you said, been must have been a good time to be a county fan, to see that rise once again. But were you must have been a fan during the dark days?
Yeah, absolutely. I sat through all the dark days. I actually did a podcast series. I don't know if you call it the dark days because of research, but I did a podcast series. There's about 9 hours of audio there. We call it the Dark Days series. So from 2005 to 2015, they were really, really dark for us, where we had some of the stories I could tell you, just you wouldn't believe, honestly, sort of bunch of scousers turning up to trial with us, and some of them hadn't brought the boots, things like that. But yeah, it's been a torrid time. Went down to the 6th tier, playing regional semi-professional football. So I've lived through all that. I am of an age. I started going in the late 80s, early 90s, so I saw us rise to the Championship with players like you'll probably recognise Kevin Francis, Brett Angel, Alan Armstrong, these sorts of players. Really, really, halcyon days for us. Then fell off a cliff, went down into the 6th tier, and now we're coming back, and we're coming back because we as a fan base we cleared the decks for ourselves. I was part of the supporters cooperative. I was on the board, and we managed to corral all of the fan groups, get ourselves together, And then in 2015, that's when we started to sort of pick up ourselves. And then 5 years later, that paved the way for Mark Stott then to invest in the club. Had we have not done that from, I don't know, 2012 onwards, it was the first meeting I was sat in with a former manager. We might not be here now. Mark Stott might not have invested in us. So we've a lot of hard work's got into it. A lot of time's got into it. But we feel like we're vindicated now. We're back in the third tier at least. And I'm quite happy with that. I think a club of our size, we're nowhere near the size of Blackburn, clearly, or any other clubs, sort of most of the clubs above us. But I think third tier is about where we need to be.
Yeah, and you're back with a punch. Of course, opening day victory, Cambridge.
Yeah.
How was the performance in your eyes? Was it, was the quality there? Did you, could you see the differences between yourselves and Cambridge and think, you know what, we might even be in for a good season this season?
Yeah, I think we definitely saw that. I mean, the opening goal was a stunner to start off with. It was a lob from, I don't know, I was going to say 30 yards, 35 yards. So that was great from Louis Barry on loan from Aston Villa. Yeah, I saw the difference in quality. I think Cambridge probably will be down there at the wrong end of the table. We're looking, our expectations are we're looking at top half, maybe at a push sneaking into the playoffs, but there's loads of games to play yet. But we could definitely see the difference in quality between us and Cambridge. We've got loads of injuries. I think they've got a few injuries themselves, so it's difficult to judge off the first game, isn't it? As you well know. So, yeah, definitely saw the quality difference in quality. We've stepped up. We've got players to come back as well. So excited for Tuesday. Excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's just touch a little bit on that season. You got the next 5 games. You got Blackpool away, Bristol Rovers home, Mansfield away, Reading home, Crawley Town away. How many points is realistic for Stockport?
I've not been asked that yet. That's a good question. I mean, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you want to win your home games, I would say. Regardless of who that's against, I think we could probably match anybody at home. Away is a different prospect. We were really good away last season. That kind of won us the league, I would say. So out of the 5 games, let's go somewhere near 10 points. I think would be. I'd be ecstatic with that. Ecstatic.
Okay, now let's switch back to, of course, the game Tuesday at Edgeley Park. As a Rovers fan, who should we be keeping an eye out for? Who's the one that's going to get us off our seat and go, hang on a minute, watch this kid?
Yeah, well, Louis Barry is the name. Is the name in the frame. So he's on loan from Aston Villa. We had him on loan last season. He was a cheat code for League Two until he got injured. And again, he scored that stunner yesterday. I think it was his second touch back on loan for us. We fought off loads of different clubs in the Championship and in League One to get him for another year. He likes the club, so he wanted to come back. You'll look at him and go, bloody hell. You'd probably, in fact, I would say, I'd go as far to say that you'd probably look at him and go, wouldn't mind him in Blackburn's team, because he is good. He's really good. He was at Barcelona at a young age, and then came through the Villa Academy. And there's a school of thought that he's probably just down the pecking order at Villa, especially now they're in the Champions League. So, yeah, we're delighted to have him on loan. He will be the one to stand out. If he plays also Lewis Bate, although he picked up a knock yesterday and is unlikely to play on Tuesday, and I think that was planned anyway. There's going to be some rotation, but Lewis Bate is our new 21-year-old captain. We've gone young this year. We've invested in youth and young talent. So, yeah, Lewis Bate, if he plays, you'll look at him and go, bloody, yeah, he's a good player for that level.
And, we played over pre-season, Rovers and Stockport, close game, just the 1 goal in it. I'm expecting probably a much different side to well, maybe there's a handful of players that will probably still feature for Rovers. But from a Stockport County side, are there anyone on the Rovers, point of view that you think, oh, yeah, I'm interested to see how he plays? Swanich did feature for Rovers and score this past weekend. We thought he was gone. There are maybe murmurs that this might not happen. A cup time if he does move. But anyone from our team that you're interested to see?
Yeah, there's 2 from your team. Well, cover Schmodix first. So definitely, he's one to look out for us. He made a cameo on Friday, didn't he, and scored against Derby. So I've rated him for a long, long time. He will get a chance in the Premier League, either with Blackburn or without Blackburn, I'm sure. He's a good little talent. He's kind of the striker that I like as well, sort of like diminutive fox in the box, can do quite a lot of stuff, and he's quite strong as well. So he is going to cause us problems on Tuesday. I've no doubt about it. I'm expecting him to play as well because he only made 20 minutes, I think, on Friday, something like that. So I'm expecting him to play. The other one, bit more of on a negative sort of curve here, but Lewis Travis, he's not on anybody's Christmas card list at all. So he's going to get roundly booed on Tuesday. We don't like him because he made a tackle in that game, and it was just needless. And Adaramola now, young player on loan from Crystal Palace, is out for 6 to 8 weeks because of a needless second stab at him at his right leg. So yeah, he's going to get roundly booed, and fair play to us for that, I think.
I hear you, and that's the sort of stuff, the little seeds that are planted that could result in one of the cup upsets of the week. That moment that could come to bite us back in the backside, and I did see that, and I thought, oh shit, that's him. That's him down to a T. He's not afraid of throwing him, but in a friendly, it's a little bit of a low blow. But if I was to give you the keys to Edgeley Park for this one game only, who would be in your 11 for Stockport County in the cup?
That's a good one. I think Ben Inchcliffe will probably start in net. We've signed Corey Adai, who's a 6'8" goalkeeper. He made his debut yesterday, played really well. Ben Inchcliffe has been with us since, oh blimey, I want to say 2015 actually. I think he was 2014, 2015. He used to be semi-professional with us. Just a bit of a story here, and he was a truck driver when he played for us then. So there was 1 or 2 Saturdays he had to miss because he had to play. He had to go to work, which is quite astonishing when you think about it. So he's going to probably play for us. He's been with us all throughout those dark days, and we love him. So he's probably going to play. We'll probably play a back 5 out of possession. So you're looking at Horsfall, Mingy, Ethan Pye, who's a youth lad from us. Was probably going to be Ibu Toure on the left. Fevrier on the right, I would say. Lewis Bate if he plays, but he's, like I say, it's unlikely he's going to play. Camps in the middle. Wotton will probably start up front. Then Louis Barry as well will be in there. I don't know how many I've named now. And interesting one that will come off the bench, I'm hoping, is Che Gardner. So he's a youth prospect. He's our youth sort of pick, if you like. So we can have 7 substitutes if you've got a youth prospect on there. Interesting story about Che Gardner is he's Ricardo Gardner's son, of Bolton fame, I think he was, and I think he played for Bolton, didn't he, Ricardo Gardner? But he's also Usain Bolt's godson as well. We've not picked him because of that. He is a really good talent, so I'm expecting him to get some minutes on Tuesday as well.
All right, Ricardo Gardner, no hit. Well, I remember him from the back of the day, it's a good sort of lineage there, I'd say. So if I was to push you for a score prediction at Edgeley Park, well, of course, with all that feeding into it, the Lewis Travis crunch tackle, all that, maybe a rotated squad from Rovers, perhaps. I don't know. What's your scoreline prediction for this coming Tuesday night?
So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Going to be. It's not that I'm sat on the fence. I think you played well on Friday. I think we will sort of nullify that, and it'll take us a lot, I think, to get that draw. I think your quality will shine through, and there is sort of science behind it. Really, we played Leicester when they were in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago. We managed to hold them to a draw. We played West Ham not that long ago in the FA Cup. They only managed to sneak us 1-0 right at the end. So I think we'll battle out a 1-1 draw with you, and then you'll probably take it on penalties. But like penalties, who knows after that?
50-50. Well, hey, Rovers' record, I don't think our record's that great at penalties. So, and I think if it gets to a draw, Stockport will get it with the fans in the back. So good. It's good to have you on, Russ. I appreciate it. Tell them what you're selling. Tell them where we can find your podcast and everything like that.
Yeah, so the Scarf Bagara War. Bagara is our old manager. People of an age will know of Danny Bagara, the first foreign manager to lead an English domestic team out at Wembley in the 90s for County. The Scarf Bagara War. You can find us on scarfbagarawar.co.uk or at County Podcast on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these things, all the channels.
Appreciate it, Russ. Thank you. Good luck for Tuesday and have a good season. Hopefully we'll see you next season in the Championship, maybe.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Nice. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go back to bed. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
All right, take it easy. Thanks, too. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Of course, appreciate Russ once again for giving up a bit of his time to talk about all things Stockport County and, of course, Blackburn Rovers. The game will be on Tuesday, and, of course, we'll have our watch-along, our second watch-along of the season. So please come on by and say hello. But that is it. Until then, subscribe, smash the like, your non-stop shop for Rovers continues right here under one roof here. Until then, I'll see you soon. But right now, I am done.